One of the things I love the most about traveling around the continent, and specifically Ghana, is that Ghana is a country that is so rich in its history and its culture, and people are really proud of it. So as mentioned, we are in Kumasi and it's Africa Month, so it makes a lot of sense to visit some of the heritage sites that you find in this area. So this is a UNESCO World Heritage Site in Kumasi, and basically it's a place where, it's a shrine where the royal families or the chiefs would send people here to have the fetish priest basically decide, or basically speak to the gods on their behalf and find out whether, for example, they're going to be successful in a war or not. One of the most famous stories is around Santwa, who was the queen of the Ashanti people. Before they went to war, there was a whole discussion around whether or not they should be going to war, and after consulting with the fetish priest, who had then consulted with the gods, they were very adamant that they were definitely going to win the war, and that's how she was confident enough to go into the war, and they did subsequently actually win the war. So let's go inside and find out more.
On Sunday, it's normally done on Sunday. Every 40 days on a Sunday, they come here to pour libation. This is a shrine that has existed for ages, and it used to be a shrine that used to assist in the olden times, that the Ashantis. So whenever they were going to war, whenever they needed information, they consulted their shrine. And the one in charge of the shrine was the fetish priest. But what the fetish priest does is he consults the gods and tells you exactly what will happen. So, when you are sick, he can consult the gods for you. Whether you be well, whether you die, he consults the gods and foretells what will happen in the near future. So whenever they met here in those times, this is now a historical site and it's still done, but in those times too, it was in function. And right now it's being preserved as a heritage site. Whenever they meet here, they pour libation, and that is where they pour the libation. The old fetish priest who used to be in charge of the shrine from the very onset is no more. What happens is, when the fetish priest is no more, there's a replacement. A new fetish priest comes to replace the old fetish priest. And this is a shrine where Santwa, consulted. She came here just before the war. And then the fetish priest confirmed victory. And that was what gave her the boldness to go to war. And indeed, when she went to war, they were conquerors. So this is like a very important heritage in the Ashanti Kingdom. And periodically it's still done. The pouring of libation is still done. Because Ashantis don't believe that when you die, that's the end. They believe that life continues after death. So it's ongoing. Every 40 days on a Sunday, they come and then they pour the libation. This is clay. And they use this clay to finish these aspects of the columns. The upper parts are normally painted, and the lower portions of the columns are finished in red clay. The lower portions of all these columns and the lower portions of the building, they are all decorated in Edinkra symbols. All these are symbols of the Ashantis. The chief, the Ejisu chief, is the one who sends his linguist to come and pour the libation. Yes, so they come here. He doesn't come personally, but his rep comes to do the pouring of the libation.
This heritage site has actually been around since the 19th century, and currently they are looking at ways of trying to refurbish it without losing the essence.